I'm hoping that players get a similar experience out of playing it that I get into building it at some level. Like, that's really what I'm trying to create, is this like experience of building something where you put your spaceship together and you have all these pieces, and there's not like, you know, it's not like a puzzle game. There's not like a best way to build a spaceship. There's like hundreds of good ways to build spaceships. And so I really want people to really be creative with it and really like, you know, like you would with Legos or something, and just build whatever you want and build some cool thing. My name is Arthur Danskin. I am from Rhode Island, but I currently live in Los Angeles. I'm making a video game called Reassembly. You start out and you're just like, oh, I'm just making some triangles, and then like pretty soon you're like thinking about the world inside the game, and just this idea that you could build like some complicated thing out of these like little like colorful blocks, and each block is like not interesting, right? It's just like a little brick or a little triangle or something, but you put them all together and you get this amazing spaceship. You're building this like incredible complex system, and you put it out of these like little simple parts, and when you build something beautiful, it might turn out to be functional. When you try to build something functional, it often turns out to be beautiful. You can bring this sort of like dynamic mechanic of all these things that work together in this like amazing way. The spaceships you build will show up in other people's games, and spaceships other people build will show up in your game. So there's this kind of rich ecosystem. You can build ships with hundreds or thousands of blocks fairly quickly. There's hundreds of other kinds of spaceships in the world, and there are several different factions, and they're kind of alive in the sense that many of the spaceships can reproduce. They can produce more spaceships. There are space stations that can produce more spaceships. There are space plants that provide the basis for the kind of like resource ecosystem within the game world. So you harvest, you know, the spaceships harvest the resources from the plants, then they build more spaceships, and then they fight other kinds of spaceships for dominance and for control of resources. So you can get in these massive space battles. Like, we can easily have like 500 ships fighting all at the same time. So it's been really interesting to work with Peter on the music, because you know, he's a musician. He really understands this beautiful, like this way to create really interesting environment.
There's kind of a range of emotions that the music goes through, with things like loneliness, things like danger. All of those are kind of incorporated into different tracks. There's no textures in the game, so I kind of contrasted that with using a lot of organic samples and things that you would normally find in real life.
Reassembly is drawn using a lot of vector graphics and a lot of particle effects. So there are actually no textures except for drawing text on the screen. It's just colored polygons. By themselves, they're not interesting looking, but when you assemble a lot of them, you can really see the complexity, and it can become very beautiful. Thank you very much for listening. We hope that you find our project interesting. And if you find it as interesting as we do, then please support us, and we'll produce the best game we can for you.